I've had the last few transactions that have been very, very difficult. And the reason why is the market's changing, the interest rates are increasing, there's less buyer demand. So if you are buying or selling a home at the end of 2023, this video is for you. I'm actually videotaping this on September 6th, 2023, and the mortgage rates stand right around 7.5%, and they're only continuing to tick up. This definitely affects buyer demand, meaning there's just not as many buyers that are out there purchasing, and not even that, a lot of them are just priced out of the market. So if you are putting your house on the market, realize that you're not gonna have 25 people through your front door the very first day you list it for sale. Unless you, of course, price it way below market value, which is not a bad strategy in today's market, but no one's gonna take my advice on that. But nonetheless, understand that we are entering a market that is favoring more buyers. Now, if you go look at the chart, you're gonna say, oh, Audra, you're wrong. We have such low inventories. Okay, but I'm on the ground and I'm talking with buyers. I have several properties that are on the market currently, and it feels like a buyer's market right now. What does a buyer's market feel like? Well, they're kind of calling the shots. So if you get an offer, they might ask for some repair requests. They might ask for some credits. They might ask for a termite clearance. They might even ask for some money to buy down their mortgage rate. They're the ones kind of driving the show right now, because you're not going to have too many offers that are presented on your property unless you're probably priced at market value or slightly below in a very desirable area. The mortgage rates have definitely had their impact. Now, back in 2022, at the end of the year, it feels very similar to what we feel right now. And last year in 2022, we had mortgage rates double in a very short period of time. It shocked the market, freaked out buyers. Sellers were like, I don't care. I still got a low mortgage rate. I'm not selling. I'm not dropping my price. So here we are, fast forward another year. Right now, we have the highest mortgage rates that we've ever had in 20 years. Did you hear me that, folks? 20 years, the highest mortgage rates. Don't tell me that's not gonna affect buyer demand or it's going to shock the markets. We are starting to feel it. I'm on the ground, I'm selling properties. It definitely feels like a buyer's market, which means you sellers out there, you're going to want to work with your buyers. Okay, super important. Guys, gotta listen up. Lenders are not getting their job done. I hate lenders, I just hate them. Okay, so remember that you buyers out there, and even you sellers out there, that the lender that you're talking to is not the one that makes the decision. They're just the salespeople that have no idea what's going on. So they'll tell you whatever you want to hear to make you happy, but I'm here to tell you what really is what's going on here. And that is, lenders are not getting loans done. The appraisals aren't coming in, the underwriter's coming back with some super nitpicky, like, oh my God, if you saw what came across my desk here the last 2 weeks, you would die. So you are going to double app, meaning that you're going to have a buyer that's pre-qualified with 2 different lenders. And if you're a seller and a buyer produces, a pre-qualification letter, you're going to require them to cross-qualify with another lender, preferably one that your realtor, has used in the past. And if you don't have anybody, I'm happy to provide some. But this is super important. The market is getting really weird and these rates are getting harder for buyers to qualify. 2 lenders, double app. If you are purchasing a condo, now this is for the homeowner and the buyer, okay? This is super important. Please learn this lesson. Oh my God, I can't tell you how painful this was. So in the new condo guidelines set by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they are now requiring a limited or full condo review. Now, what triggers a limited and full condo review? A lot of things, how much the buyer's putting down, if it's a secondary property, what the loan to value, all this other stuff, right? If it triggers a full condo review, you're in trouble. It's going to take forever because the condominium development has to fill out this questionnaire and ask all these questions. And in our situation that I just got out of, thank God we closed escrow, they went all the way back to 2013. It delayed escrow a considerable amount of time, and by the time we were all done with it, the seller's mad, the buyer's upset, we're all exhausted and frustrated with the process. We had to bring 2 different lenders in. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because if you are a seller and you're selling a condo, and quite frankly, a buyer too, you need to write in that offer that the lender's gonna order the condo cert on a rush, okay? Within 3 days of opening escrow, okay? Because you wanna start this condo evaluation sooner than later so you can get ahead of it. Don't make the mistake that we made. We had no idea how extensive this could be. So something else that has dramatically changed here in the last couple of months is homeowners trying to get homeowners insurance. It is a nightmare. So back in the day, right before we would close escrow, we tell the buyer to go get their home insurance and we would order it and off we go, okay? No, that's one of the first things we do right now is to see if the property is insurable. So if you're a buyer, you need to contact your insurance carrier and ask them if the property is going to be easily insured. And if it is, I guarantee you it's going to be higher than you expect. In California, we have these fires and earthquakes and floods, and a lot of the carriers have backed out of insuring in our areas, and it's becoming a major problem. So if you're a homeowner, you're gonna make that requirement up front. You're gonna write it in the contract that the buyer is going to get quotes on their home insurance to make sure they can get insurance, and also that they understand how much it's gonna cost, because it is gonna be expensive, like I said. There is an insurance agent that I work with. If you can't seem to find insurance, I'll link his number down below. He's been very helpful for some of my clients. It's going to be, expensive depending on where your house is located, if you're in a fire zone, etc. But it's best to be prepared for this, not wait till the very end, go through all the home repairs and all blah, 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 and you go to close escrow and you can't close because they can't get insurance on the property. So heed my warning. You'll thank me later. In my area, when it gets nice and warm, we have termites that come out and they shed their wings and off they go. And when you go to close escrow or when you're selling your house, it's very customary for the buyer to perform a termite report or require you to do so if you're a seller. And as soon as that termite inspector gets up to that attic or whatever and sees some wings, guess what? They're gonna recommend a full tent. And the reason why they're gonna recommend a full tent is because they can't guarantee that that little termite guy didn't lay a bunch of eggs in the wood. So the reason why I bring this to your attention is if you do have termites, more than likely you got some wings in your attic, get a termite inspection done immediately, and then have the termite clearance done in advance. It's not something that you want to negotiate. Termite companies are very busy right now. The woodwork takes a long time. So if you're thinking about selling, get that done immediately. And if you're a buyer, I would recommend that you perform your own termite, report, even if a seller provides one for you. It's just amazing. You can have 10 different, termite people come out and they're all going to find something different. So make sure you're thorough in this category. Furthermore, a lot of termite companies are super busy right now, especially if there's some woodwork that needs to be repaired. So if you can get ahead of this before you even list your house on the market, it's going to really save a lot of time and a lot of hassle. During this time of year, we're done with summer, we've had heat waves, we've had, rainstorms, we've had, Armageddon. So your plants are looking like poo-poo right now, probably. So you're probably going to want to mulch a little bit, right? And probably plant some things that aren't dying. So if you are selling your house, make sure that you look at your yard, make sure it's really tidy. Like right now, you guys, I'm not kidding, I have a million spiders at my house. And all the houses that I'm looking at have spiders also. So I would look at that stuff, right? So make sure you get a pest control person out there, kill those spiders. I know Halloween's around the corner, but it's a little overboard if you ask me. Okay, this is a really sensitive topic, and I still don't know why California contracts are written this way. So in California, the laws are in favor of the buyer. However, when you go put earnest money into escrow buyers, you don't just get that back if you decide not to move forward. Let's say you haven't removed all your contingencies, like I'm done, this house isn't for me for all these reasons. Okay, that earnest money deposit only gets released if your seller agrees to release it. Did you guys follow that? That's really important to know. So if you get a cranky seller, they can say, sorry, you made me mad, I'm not releasing it. Here's a reason why I even bring this up. Because if you are a buyer and if you're a realtor representing a buyer, I would make sure that you write in your contract that the earnest money is to be released immediately without the consent of the seller if all contingencies have not been removed. Okay, if you just write that stipulation in the contract, you're protecting your buyer. If not, and you fall prey to a seller that's in a bad mood, I'm serious, I've had this, and they just don't care because they're so mad about the process, you could be in a deep pile of poo-poo, because quite frankly, that money's just gonna sit in escrow and your seller could say, nope, give me half or I'm not releasing it. I mean, it could be that bad. So I don't wanna go down that road, but we got a lot of angry sellers out there because the process is taking longer. It's just been very painful for them. So buyers, protect yourself, and sellers out there, understand it's a lot more difficult selling your house than it was a few years ago, okay? You're not gonna have as many buyers. It's gonna be a little bit more complicated. Rates are higher, harder to get people qualified, so beware. I'm putting you on notice. We are entering the holiday season. We got Halloween, we got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever, all the holidays. This is holiday era as we enter the end of the year. So if you are selling your home, I would highly recommend that you don't put all the tchotchkes out and Santa Claus and spider webs and all that stuff. It's distracting for the buyer. The buyer doesn't want to go and visit the house and feel like they're intruding on somebody's, family experience, okay? So I wouldn't recommend doing that. And this is when you need to really go all in. When the market slows like it is, and it is, I don't care what report, I don't care, I'm telling you right now, the market's slow. Not saying prices are dropping, I'm saying the market is slow. No one's in a rush to purchase right now. So we are in September right now. We usually get a second wind all the way through November-ish, right before Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, it's kind of a slow decline. So if you're selling your home, just be prepared that you're not gonna have a ton of activity. But when you do have a showing or you do have an open house, make sure you go to those fine touches. We still don't have a lot of inventory. We still have buyers that are out there. It's just taking longer. I will link a few videos down below, a staging video and a home inspection video, just so you can help prepare your house if you're selling. And also, all I can tell you is just be patient. If you have the time, be patient. In fact, some of my best years ever were at the end of the year in December. So it's not that you can't sell your house, just be prepared that it's going to be slower than you think out there. Okay, well, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Really appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next video.